Who is the most fascinating person you've met in prison? I've worked in a prison for some time in medical. What surprised me more than anything else is how many inmates have serious mental illnesses and below normal IQ. A lot of them don't even belong in prison. Prison makes them so much worse. One time, one such inmate was having a fit and asking to speak to someone from behavioral health. Well, it was night shift, and we didn't have any BH professionals on duty at the time, so I agreed to go talk to him. He was a black male in his 30s. Asked violent offender. It turned out that he was angry because he had gotten moved from one cell to another and his radio had gotten damaged and some of his stuff was missing. He was frustrated and didn't feel like he was getting an explanation. The inmate thought it was because everyone hated his music. They always be complaining about my music, and that's why they broke my radio, he said. And to emphasize the point, he turned the radio on full blast with one of Duran Duran's songs playing. When he turned it off after a few seconds, I remarked, "Well, I think that's outrageous. Who would have a problem with Duran Duran?" That got him. "You like Duran Duran?" "Oh, yeah. My sister was their biggest fan in the 80s. Played them all the time." Which means I was listening to the inmate's mood changed, and he showed me his property form that had everything and asked me to verify that the radio was recorded as undamaged on the form. As I looked at it, I noticed that he had a box of crayons listed among his possessions. I asked him what sorts of things he draws and colors. The inmate pulled out a folder containing some blank coloring pages that he had of various things. I saw one picture of an owl and mentioned that I like owls. He told me he'd color it for me. "I'll tell you what, then. If you promise to color that owl for me, I will come back tomorrow and visit you to see how you're doing. Deal?" He agreed to it. Next day I showed up and the guy was absolutely jubilant. The owl was perfectly colored, and he insisted that I take it. He couldn't stop talking about it either, and he remarked somewhere in the middle, "All my life my folks told me not to trust white people. But you did what you said you would." It was such a small thing, and it mattered to this man to the point that it made him question the negativity that may have led him to the hard place he found himself in. I will never forget how happy he was right then. For my part, I still have that owl picture hanging on my refrigerator.